We have the 2019-2020 playoff hopefuls that got bounced from the playoffs this year. Just made it too short. Just didn't make it at all. We got the Browns, Giants, Vikings, Titans, and Atlanta Falcons.
And the Steelers.
So let's start off with the Browns. Last stretch of the season, they did look really, really good. Baker Mayfield was starting to look like a number 1 overall pick. They got rid of Hugh Jackson down there, so I feel like
He built that team, though.
he
built it. I mean,
you got to give credit
he
to
was
the
the
owner. I like
foundation.
the owner.
He was the foundation. But for now, I see that
He was not a good coach, though.
I see that there's no going back for the Browns organization now, unless
only going forward.
unless they ruin it themselves.
They're expected to hire Freddie Kitchens as their new head coach, so I feel like that's gonna be really good. Him and Baker have a really good chemistry together.
And
They have it for the whole season. So,
and I can see them making numerous trades with other teams.
They're on the come up, though. I mean,
they have a good roster.
They're on the come up.
They have a good
great
defense.
A young
team.
A young team.
They have a
and
solid offensive line. Really good
and
quarterback.
They showed a lot of
you
potential.
you have a decent running back. I mean,
Every
Chubb.
game,
he's a good running back.
every game they lost was never that. Oh man, here goes the Browns again.
Yeah.
It was
I
more.
mean-
Oh wait, what is that? Wait, wow.
It shows
It's
the potential.
It shows potential.
Shows
Every
you got to
game
give
was-
credit to Baker.
Every
Mayfield,
game
though.
was
I mean,
there was a chance for them.
Also,
He
according
really
to
turned
Pro
that team
Football
around.
Focus, Nick Chubb is rated the number 1 rookie running back over Saquon.
think so?
I was looking at it the other day. I was like, wow. Yeah, I mean,
And then also we got trade rumors going crazy about maybe
AB.
AB Le'Veon Bell.
Jarvis is recruiting over there,
Jarvis.
so
Jarvis. No, let's see that. Jarvis Landry, one of the best receivers. We have
In the league, and I mean, you
AB.
team him up with AB. I
Come
mean,
on.
Who's
That,
stopping?
with a young quarterback in Baker Mayfield, that's a highly explosive offense. That would be the best
and
offense.
you got David Njoku, who's a really freakishly athletic tight end. I mean,
This
the
may
whole
be
team,
that team would be
set. I
that
mean,
may be the
They
best
just-
team
my opinion, they just
to
need
to ever be built.
get the little pieces together. And then
That may be the best team that to ever be built.
get the little pieces
Just the coaching.
together, and then you're set. I mean,
you get the right coaching pieces, and they're going to be a really good playoff team next year, making
Hey,
some
I
noise in
mean-
the playoffs. All right.
I wouldn't want to say Super Bowl, talk
Not
yet,
Super Bowl.
but in
I mean-
a few years,
Super Bowl.
I'm saying in a few years or so, you can see him.
I can
You
see.
can put him in there. You can put him in there.
I
Me
see the
personally,
vision.
I
see the
have to.
vision.
It's not. You have to put him in.
Me
in that
personally,
conversation.
I had
see
them
the
going
vision.
to the wild card this year, but I mean, if they fired Hugh Jackson earlier, they definitely would have been a wild card.
Mhm.
A wild card team probably over the.
And
Ravens.
Baker's the true leader. Baker will still be that hard, even with
Yeah.
AB coming in. We already seen it with Jarvis Landry. Even with the Eagles they have, we know them.
And he's a
knows-
great
He knows how
energizer.
to control a team.
He's a great energizer.
Baker was a good number 1 pick, and he is that guy. And Baker will continue leading that team, and the Browns could have a good next year if things go in their favor. Next team, New York Giants.
New York Giants. Just try to do whatever you can to try to get Kyler Murray in the draft.
If you guys have to, I don't even know. Giants get Kyler Murray because you guys have the offense. You need just pick up a few keys in the own line, work on
Yeah.
the defense.
Yeah, if anything,
The
Giants could
Giants
trade
are
up
like-
to get. Giants could trade up to get an offensive lineman. They could trade the 2nd and 3rd round pick for maybe
their
like a late
offensive
round
line
first
was,
pick.
I mean,
It wasn't bad,
It was decent. It wasn't.
but
the
we say
best.
They're starting to build
the
it.
Giants now have the run game they need. We've seen the years
Saquon.
the Giants.
I mean,
the
if
Giants
you have the run game
the
you
years
need.
the
You have
Giants
the,
won the
running
Super
back
Bowl,
that you need.
the year the Giants won the Super Bowl, they had that run game.
Well,
Ahmad Bradshaw,
Well, before that,
going
Brandon
crazy.
Jacobs.
Brandon Jacobs, they had a run game. Now we see something. Now we see something that Giants team with Saquon. Saquon carrying. Now we have Saquon opening holes. Now we have Saquon.
This might be the greatest running back the Giants have ever seen. Step in the uniform.
Saquon's first year was the best Giants running back year ever.
Yeah.
Ever. First year.
What he had over
2,000
2,000 in the scrimmage.
Scrimmage.
Over 2,000 scrimmage yards.
No fumbles.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
He is the
That's
best
crazy.
running back for the Giants. And if the Giants do not capitalize off this and pick up a young key weapon in Kyler Murray, if he declares for the draft, this will be the biggest mistake in Giants history. And they will forever suffer because they will have the one of the most finessed offense that you will have ever seen with Odell.
You just
But
need
the
a young
thing
quarterback.
is,
I'm not saying
the
Kyler,
thing is,
but you got Eli's getting old, so he. I mean,
The thing is-
washed
And
up.
then you don't just cut Eli. You have Eli starting, and Kyler backed up.
the thing is
learning
also
from Eli, learning simple learning keys. We've seen
That's
that
like
before.
that's like
We've seen that with Joe Flacco
Ben Roethlisberger with
in the Ravens. Are you kidding me?
the thing is though, the Giants, they did spend a lot of money in recent years,
You're
so
right.
they're really low on cap space. Number two, they're losing free agents this year. They might be losing Landon. They're losing someone else. I think. I'm not too sure, but they're gonna lose key pieces, and that's really gonna play a factor. So I don't think they could really go out and sign someone. They don't really have the money for that. I mean, you just signed a left tackle who's in like his 30s for like what, $80 million. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. But
I mean, it did work out for the best because 2,000 from scrimmage, no fumbles.
I mean,
yeah, but that's all Saquon.
You see, they
That's not
compare
all.
him
You
to
can't
Zeke.
say that's all Saquon because the Giant because it's not like it improved. They
It's
got
improving.
better.
It's
They got
improving.
it's throughout the years they will get better.
Well, you got to give credit to everybody
and
for him.
it may just not
accomplish
happen
that,
right
though.
away. It may not happen right away, but the Giants could go somewhere. And if they
I'd give it 2 years.
2 years, if they
3
pick
years.
up Kyler Murray,
Yeah.
they have
Three,
Kyler Murray
I'll go 3.
sit behind
In that range.
Because
Eli.
you may not realize it now, but I feel like Pat Shermer is not the answer at head coach right now.
Yeah,
but
they need
he's
a
way
new
too
head coach.
conservative.
They need a new.
I just think that
I don't know who
They're
was
gonna
worse,
figure
him
it
or
out in
Ben.
a year or
Who-
two,
Him and
so.
Ben McAdoo. Who was worse?
McAdoo
I'll go with
McAdoo is definitely work.
Yeah, it was definitely worse.
McAdoo.
Nah, definitely Ben McAdoo's definitely McAdoo do.
Doodle.
He's definitely worse, but yeah. All right, next, moving on, we got the Vikings. They had a big free agent signing with Kirk Cousins this past offseason.
And do you think that's a bust or
No, I don't think that they're a bust. I just like you were saying before.
I don't
just
think
the little
that-
pieces. They just need get the little pieces in there and then.
All right.
I think
I like-
communication,
I like-
communication and
because they have
chemistry.
the team that they need. They have the team
Communication
that
and
they need.
chemistry is a big
For
factor
quarterbacks,
that.
I like to categorize quarterbacks by quarterbacks who are good and quarterbacks who are good but can make a big play. I don't think
Playmakers,
I don't think Kirk Cousins can make that big play. He's shown it past couple
can,
years.
He can when
mean,
He's
Kirk
made it the
can,
past
he-
couple
no, he
years.
gets
You
off.
just don't
He's
sign
never
some-
made a big play in his career.
Kirk Cousins.
He has the opportunity if he wants to.
Kirk Cousins has the weapon. The Vikings have everything. They have
They
the
have
weapon.
everything
They're
that
one
they
of the
need.
most put together teams. Out of
Kirk
all
does
the
not-
teams.
I
But
feel like-
Kirk Cousins.
He does not get criticized enough, in my opinion. I mean, Dak, he gets criticized
You're saying,
so
you
much,
think
but
he's that bad?
he's gonna make that play. I don't think he's worth the money, in my opinion.
80.
He's not worth the money.
Nah,
It was
Kirk-
more than $80 million.
It was Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback, but
He's not gonna
he
get into
just-
that
No,
tier.
I think he just needs the coaching
He
and
just got
everybody
into
around
this-
him to encourage. Like
He just got into the system.
You
He's
just-
it's his first year
you
in
need
that
that
system.
support. You need that support.
It's his first year in that system with new receivers who want the ball. With Latavius Murray, who's not even supposed to be
Dalvin Cook.
starting. Dalvin wasn't even, Latavius Murray comes
Yeah.
in. He's not even supposed to be starting. He has to adjust himself with a whole bunch of new keys, a whole bunch of new players. When he was down with the Redskins, he had what's that? What's the tight end's name? Jordan Reed. He had Jordan Reed making plays for him consecutively. He didn't have. It wasn't just like. It wasn't just he didn't have to share the ball as much.
I mean,
Now
but we
he
can
has
all agree.
Now he has to.
He's never gonna be Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or Drew Brees. I
He
mean,
can, but he won't. But
He
can make
has
a
the
name.
keys to be that.
he's a
though.
stat sheet stuffer.
He can make a name for himself. It doesn't have to be.
He's
you
a
don't
s-
have to put him in that category. Oh,
if
he's
you
good-
if you watch the
great-
games,
great quarterback.
if you watch the games and you see the stats that he pads on his resume, it's just he's just a stat sheet stuffer. Like if you watch the games, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it, and it's just they're not gonna go far if he's just gonna keep playing like that. He has to take his game to another level, and I feel like that's just I don't know.
Then that's when coaching comes involved too.
Yeah.
You need a better.
Also, I mean they
system.
do need somewhat of a better O-line, but I mean
You just like I was saying. Like
And they
just
need
the
they
little-
need
the
they
little
need to
keys,
expand their offense more.
Little factors matter.
they have weapons all
They,
around.
they
That's
need,
the thing.
No, not with the weapon, not with the people. I'm talking about expanding their offense more as getting Stephon Diggs the ball more, getting Adam Thielen the ball more. Adam Thielen and Stephon
I
Diggs.
mean, they both get a good amount of share of
they-
a ball. I mean,
they do get a good amount of share, but is it enough for them to make a play, or is it just to get the first down? Or is
I
it
mean,
just to
you
get
have-
this? Are they setting plays for these players to get that big play.
You have a solid number 1. You have a solid number
Number
2.
two.
You have a solid number 3 in Laquan Treadwell. He's very slept on, but I mean, his production hasn't really been like up to par of like
And then also,
expectations.
remember, the Vikings do their best when the run game is strong.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Once they fired that offensive coordinator, they started running the ball more, and it really started to show. The first game, Dalvin Cook really had a good game. So, I mean, they could play that into factor a lot more than they can go far.
The Vikings fix their run game, opens things up, takes stress off Kirk. Kirk gets the ball to his key weapons, and that team is that explosive offense that gets that's getting their defense off the field. The defense is still going to shut down. Defense is pretty is decently.
They don't have a
decent
bad
age,
defense. I mean,
decent age, but if next year if they could get that run game going and become that explosive offense that they are, then
everything
that
should
they have,
click.
then they'll be good.
All right, moving on. We got the
Titans.
Tennessee Titans. Yeah.
A team with potential. That
I mean, Mike
has been-
Vrabel, he's a good coach. He's a good coach.
They have a
And
good team all around.
They have a good team. They have a good
Derrick
O-line.
Henry. I mean, you have one of
Yeah.
the biggest running backs in the league.
It's just that
It's just
Marcus Mariota cannot stay healthy. That's what it is. I mean, they had a chance at the playoffs, but Marcus Mariota got hurt before they really
Even
went into the
Lost
final
chances.
stretch. Yeah, before they went into the final stretch, and that really just played a big factor in them.
The
missing the
defense
playoffs
is
this year.
pretty good too.
Yeah,
They shut down
have
the Patriots.
They have good
offense.
linebackers. They have a good run defense.
They're a team with
decent.
potential.
They're decent.
If they pick up a couple key
They have a
factors
decent- they have a decent
on the
run game.
on the secondary base more, on the secondary base more.
They have
they'll be-
they have a really good run game. Derrick Henry.
yeah, Derrick
Yeah.
Henry. What
Big
Yeah, he's a
boy.
monster.
if they pick up couple keys in the secondary, they could tighten up that O line a little, get Mariota some more protection. They'll and give Derrick Henry more holes.
Open
Run game's
up
going
bigger
crazy.
plays. So I mean,
Bigger
They just need to
plays.
be more consistent
and then
with
also
their
if they could get a
coaching.
key player
Play
at that
calling.
receiver,
they'll be
like
set.
let's say instead of the Browns getting AB, let's say the Titans get AB.
No, I don't think.
Imagine the Titans.
I mean, they don't really have a consistent receiver. I mean,
That's what
Corey
I'm
Davis
saying.
has been off and on. So
I mean,
If
AB
they
can
could
make
get-
any quarterback
if they
look
if
good,
they could
but I'm
get
saying
if they could
as-
get a good receiver, also, and let's say in the
they
draft,
have a good tight end. I mean,
they have a great tight end, but
yeah,
if they could get
Delaney
a,
Walker's really good.
But you do need a wide receiver in this
they
game
do
now.
they
Yeah.
do if they have a tight
this time
if
of
the
football.
Titans get a receiver, strong up that old line, get a little more, get some help on the secondary. They'll be
They
definitely
could be
contender.
They could be a
This year
contender.
they were a contending team, but next year they'll be a playoff team.
Yeah.
Steelers.
All right. Moving on, we got the Steelers. They're struggling in the locker room. I mean, with AB, Big Ben, whatever's going on down there, it's just
I
that's
think they
over.
need to get like a quarterback and for them to go further now. I mean,
You feel like they need a new quarterback?
Shout out to Big Ben, one of the best
It's
quarterbacks
it's
to
a
play in
new
the
era.
game.
I
But
know what
it's
you're
a-
saying.
it's
It's
a
They're
a
gonna
new
ex-
era.
they're
It's a
gonna
new era.
extend him.
It's a different game now.
It's a different game.
He
You gotta get.
you just need a quarterback, that's able to throw the ball, able to run when you need to run.
They're extending him.
I feel
So,
like
They're gonna send him to an extension too.
Yeah, you could get another quarterback and have him train under him and then put him in the game, but it's a different era.
I feel like I know what you mean, Dwayne. Big Ben, it's not past his time, but it's coming to that time.
It's coming to the end.
It's
where
coming
he
to
needs
that time
go.
because I feel Big Ben's a leader, but I feel like he's not like you see how Baker could get his team excited.
I'm saying
Through
He's not an energizer.
He's
That's
not
what
an
it is.
energizer.
He's not an
That's where
energizer.
AB was lacking because he didn't have the energizer. That
energizer. Then you have conflicts with your coach. So it's
and even if there's I feel like, and then there was rumors saying that Big Ben was trashing AB.
I'm saying so. It's like that plays a big factor, but him. Big Ben, he still could do everything. He can throw the ball. He can make good throws and stuff.
But now it's a new day and age.
It's a different. It's not how
You
it used to be.
You need some mobility in the
Versatile.
pocket.
You need a versatile
You
quarterback.
need mobility and versatility in the pocket, without a doubt. It's a new era of football. You can't. It's hard to be a quarterback that's just dotting people up because the way these corners and safeties and linebackers, this D lineman that's pass dropping.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a
catching
different.
interceptions.
It's a different game. It's
Now,
not.
the way defensive coordinators are training, are making plays, having DTs drop back,
You need a
pick off.
You need
and
an athletic D
have
lineman.
corners. Now you got a corner rushing off the edge, beating your own lineman, chasing you down.
And
Nah.
you can't run, and you can't run.
You need some versatility.
Like,
in
how
the
many
pocket.
times you gonna-
And it's coming towards Big Ben's time. So Steelers need to work in the locker room. They need to they need to have someone under Big Ben's wing.
Do you think it comes down to Mike Tomlin?
I know. He's been, I think, one of the best coaches that they had. You can't just always blame it on the coach.
One of the most consistent. I mean, they've been in the
I'm
playoffs
saying,
like every year.
Like with Derrick saying, if you're sending him off, sending corners on a blitz, you can't be that quarterback just throws it out the pocket or just takes a second.
You can't
gotta
just
be able
throw it
to
away.
run.
Yeah,
you gotta be able to run.
You gotta
so it's like
make plays happen.
Era.
This era is the era of making things happen and making plays. It's because football is no longer just X and O's. It's about making plays. That's the thing that brings everyone to play football. Is about making plays. You can't play X and O's no more because there's more to it than just there's squares now. There's triangles in this now. It's not just X and O's. And
you can't just
Big Ben is an X and O quarterback. Mike Tomlin's an X and O coach. That's why he can't take the egos of all his players on his team with Le'Veon Bell, AB. But
you can't.
But also the game is faster now.
I'm saying, but you can't blame the coach. Remember, a coach is only there to coach. You put out the players there to play. So
it all comes down to execution.
The NFL is a business.
It all comes down to execution. That's what it is. If you can't execute, you can't win.
You just need the players that can execute, so you could win. So
and it comes down to that locker room. So
last but not least, Atlanta Falcons.
They have a good team all around. It's just injuries have been biting them by the butt this year.
It's injuries, and ever since that loss
in the Super Bowl,
that team hasn't been the same.
Who'd you have? Calvin Ridley. You have a good wide receiver core. So they have a good wide receiver core.
They have a good wide receiver core. They have a solid.
And then I feel like the run game isn't the same as it was before.
It's just their offensive line. I feel like they have holes in their offensive line.
That run game has not the same.
Devonta Freeman was out.
Devonta Freeman was one of the best running backs.
I still think he's one of the best.
He didn't lead the leading rush, but he was one of the top 3 running backs leading league in rushing. Like what happened to him? He can't just fall off like
injuries.
That. I know it's off the injuries, but like I'm saying, that's when the offense was being. Remember, you run the ball to spread the ball. You don't spread the ball to run the ball. You want to get that run game. Once you have a solid run game,
then that opens up.
But the defense is good too. So I mean,
because you could have a great. Because remember, everyone in the league can just drop into zone, and you can shut down the pass. But once you have a solid run game, and that's what opens up the pass. 'Cause now you have the corners thinking. Now you got the safety thinking. Now it's just more than just pass.
Also, I feel like they need more of an elite pass rusher. They don't really have
they don't have that dominant that dominant animal.
I think that's what they need.
They have Grady Jarrett.
They don't have that's what their defense isn't the same defense also.
But not only a pass rusher, you need players that's able to stop the run.
Yeah.
You can't always have that team that just has those pass rush guys. Cause
you have that guy Jarrett. I mean, he's pretty good.
All right, but one guy out of how many guys that's on the team? You just need a run stop and D. You can stop the run, yeah, but I mean, you just need.
And then also,
nowadays you need a big defensive tackle who's so athletic that he can also.
You need an Aaron Donald that's able.
You need someone who can stuff the run.
Everyone's Aaron Donald.
I'm saying, not everyone is like him, but I'm saying, but you need a person that can have a good pass rush and is able to stop the run.
This is football. You don't just need one person. You need everyone to do their job. That's football.
True.
You need everyone to do
Everybody
their job.
goes hand in hand together.
It does not matter who you have. You can have 3 Aaron Donalds, but if they're not doing what they need to do, if they're not working together as a team. Because that Atlanta team is not a team. Everyone wants their own. Julio has not put up touchdowns in a while because Devontae Freeman isn't running the way Devontae Freeman needs to run.
They're not opening up the game for each other.
You have to work together.
Selfish.
That's with a lot of these teams. A lot of these teams, everyone's playing for themselves and not together. But if these teams get their little pieces together, work together, put what they need to put together, all these teams will be good.
And that's something you can see with these teams in the playoffs. I mean,
these teams today.
You see the Chargers, the Saints, Cowboys. Oh my God!
Who would have thought that
man, they're playing
the Chargers,
each other, man.
The Chargers would be the team they are. If you would have told me in 2015 when Tim Tebow was going crazy on the Chargers that the Chargers team today would be the team they are today with Melvin Gordon going crazy, I would not believe it.
That's true.
But you know why? It's because they have a leader at that quarterback position, and he's not the most finesse player, but he has a quarterback that's able to adjust, that's able to work with his players.
Would you agree that Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Oh, most definitely.
You can put him in that topic.
Even
he's top 5.
Not top of all time.
Not all time. I'm talking about like in this league.
In this league right now, yeah, most definitely. But then
you have to be on a consistent basis. You can't be that quarterback that's okay here in the playoffs, and then next year die down.
It's either you're either getting 3,000, 4,000, or a lot of touchdowns with him. That's it.
Saying, but you need a
consistent every year.
You can't just be that quarterback. Oh well, here you go to Super Bowl. Okay, next year, done.
Yeah,
bad. Then
just take a
the
rest
next 2
year
years you come back up, and then next year you go back down. You need a consistent quarterback every year. All right, cool.
I'll tell you one right now, Fitzpatrick. You don't get nothing consistent from him.
That's true. I mean, he hasn't really been in a system where like he's able to stay there and just like really hold his own. So I mean, that's what.
But whose fault is that? That's his fault because he's not doing things consistently. But
that's true. That's like he started off really hot this season too. I remember that.
You can say that's like Cam Newton. Cam Newton's my guy, but I mean,
he started off hot this year too.
But like him also, you can't be like Panthers my team, but he has to be consistent. Like you could put him in the Hall of Fame category too, but he just has to be that quarterback. I don't think he just has to be that quarterback consistent. I mean, yes, you can throw the ball. If you're gonna throw the ball how you use it in 2015, throwing the ball all the time, controlling that team all the time. Don't be that quarterback. 2015, you did get 2016.
So,
17.
do you think that changing the game plan and making it more revolve around Christian McCaffrey?
That's not a good idea. See, that's like, also Panthers are also a team that have
weapons.
have a good chance to add another team to the list. You could add the Panthers. That's another team. But you know why? You know why they're not good of a team? It's because everyone's for themselves.
I wouldn't say everyone for themselves.
But you're not. It's not everyone for themselves, but it's everyone. They're not playing for each other as a team. As a team, everyone's putting up their numbers. When that Panthers team,
I feel like that's the difference between.
Remember, every team, every dynasty that's good, they usually have a nickname, the Legion of Boom. You know why? Because they're a legion together.
Dallas defense is right now. They're called the Hot Boys. So
the no-fly zone. You know why they're no-fly zone? Because they're together. It's not the one man.
I mean,
it's not the one man. Like you can't like Aaron Donald. It's not the Aaron Donald show. It's Aaron Donald eating and the Rams eating. Yeah.
I mean, but how about the NYPD, New York Pass Defense? I mean, come on. They didn't really go anywhere.
It was good for a year.
It was good for a year.
All right, but still, but they were good. That's the point.
That's the thing.
When you want to have a great team, everyone has to be together.
Yeah.
In basketball,
me too. I like the Panthers. I don't think a lot of these players are not like Kawan Short. Like he wasn't the player that he should have been. That everybody was.
My dude was sleeping on a bench through a blowout.
Don Terry Poe, one of the best defensive linemen too. He wasn't as good as the hype was for him. You know what I'm saying? So it was like we have another person, Shaq Thompson. We need all these guys to come together.
I feel like
also you can't just put names together.
But you gotta come together. If we're paying you a contract, then you gotta play like how much money. If I'm giving if I'm giving you a contract worth $80 million, you better play like you're $80 million.
But I feel like the thing with this team is it's a completely different team from what it was in 2015. You saw in 2015, like they were
together.
Like they started the gang flicks. They started the gang flicks.
We have
they started
weapons.
the gang team
flicks.
flicks.
Weapons all over the field. We have young guys.
But that's like the Giants. They got weapons all over the field. But you know what?
Just capitalize. I mean, capitalize off of it.
You can't just capitalize.
It can't just be one or two guys. It has to be everybody.
You have to have
11 guys on the field. I mean,
in basketball, if one person's ball hogging, what's the best thing to do? Take him out and start passing the ball around.
But then don't forget
the ball around. Spread the ball when ball movement is going crazy.
But basketball could be a one-man game. Don't you? Football can't be a one-man game.
That's another topic.
We can't get on that. But I'm just saying, basketball you could be that one dude and take a team.
That's another topic. That's another topic.
All right, so pretty much covered everything.